How about a little Sunday flapping? Good afternoon, YouTube. Here with you on a Sunday at 1:20 now in the afternoon. I was just sitting here at the bench and just happened to notice. Remember the other day, I don't know if I even said anything on camera, I can't remember, but I lost my little dash cam. I couldn't find it. It's on the bench here. I don't know what it's doing here, but that's not where it really is supposed to be at, but you know how that works. I thought I'd have a little flapping session this morning, or this afternoon, whatever this is. It's Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. Doesn't feel much like Easter, obviously, but you know, it's still that time of the year, so I guess we'll deal with it the best we can. So I had my traditional Easter dinner. I had a couple cheese conies. Anyway, excuse me. I didn't do anything Friday really, other than play around with the radio some more, and I didn't think you guys wanted to see all that crap, and I just didn't. I did have it on the ZE1 here, but I didn't upload it. You know, you get tired of that. I understand that, and so anyway, Saturday. No, I take that back. Friday evening, got talking to my son on the text on the phone, and we were talking about motorcycles and things like that. He had found one down where he lives that was just like the one he used to have, and we were reminiscing, I guess is what you would say. And I just got the thought, I thought, well, you know, I kind of like to go out to see him and the grandkids, and so I told him, I said, you know, if you don't mind, I said, I think I'll come out tomorrow and hang out for a little bit. So that's what I did. Just one little mention of the radio. I got in the car and hit the little microphone button and said, hey Google, give me directions to my son's address, and put the address, you know, I told it the address, and it did. It actually came up with the thing. The only thing I had to do was press go on the screen, you know, to get it to start navigating or whatever, but I did that. It told me the turn-by-turn directions, although there really wasn't much turns to it, but I just kind of wanted to play around with it to see if it worked, and it did, so I was happy about that. So you know, that should be alright if nothing else. Of course, I had my phone and I had my Wi-Fi on my phone, and that's where it was getting its online stuff. So but it worked flawlessly, and after I figured it was working, I went over ahead and turned back to the music I was listening to on the one of the SD cards I had in there, and I listened to radio, or listened to the music, and if there was a turn come up, it would break into the music, or you know, turn the music down, or whatever you want to call it, and you could clearly hear the instructions. So it was working great. So I'm happy with that, and so I went out there to hang out with them. I don't know if you guys remember my drone, but I had given my drone to the boys out there, and they really never got to fly it because I think their dad thinks that they're going to tear it up. I said, it doesn't matter if they tear it up. I said, you know, it's not that big expensive drone or anything like that. I said, you know, let them have some fun with it. So they were getting batteries for it, and so you know, that's what they were planning on doing. So I hope they got that done. Like I say, I had a good visit with him and the boys, and he was showing me the camper that he'd been working on, and looks really good.
No, I'm not.
It's gonna be fun every time we go camping, I'm telling you.
Anyone got like a screwdriver?
For what? It's a string.
It's not open out.
And he's got, you know, one more problem to address, and that's the top. It's a pop-up camper and has an ABS plastic top, and it's got cracks in it. It needs to be fixed to where it doesn't leak, and so that's what he was going to be working on next. And so, like I said, the cheese conies on the way there or back, either way, is Versailles, Indiana, and Versailles, Indiana has a Gold Star chili. And I'll flash up a little picture of that. There's a couple of the best, whatever you want to call it, chili places in Cincinnati is Skyline Chili. That's the best, and then Gold Star is pretty close behind it. I generally don't get their 4-ways or 3-ways and things like that, but I do get their cheese conies, and that's what I did on the way home. Ordered 10 of them. And so I got me a drink to drink on the way, and it was after 5 time I got home, and I sat there. I had not ate all day, so I hadn't even had breakfast or anything. So I sat there and ate 5 of them. I ate half of them. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I did. They were good. Oh, I love them. And so I put the other 5 in the refrigerator, and this morning after I got up and took care of the little things, I thought, I'm going to warm up a couple in the microwave and see how they taste. And they tasted excellent. They were really just as good as they was last night. So I may have the rest of those this evening or something. I don't know. We'll see. But that was pretty good. I like that. That was a good deal. Some of the other things I'm working on, I had bought and I think I mentioned this, bought a whiteboard at Walmart last time I did my grocery shopping. I just had them put that in there with it, and they did. So, excuse me. The only problem with it is too big, and I didn't really think about it at the time. It was a good buy for what it was, and it came with the little pens and stuff like that, little magnets and things, So I'm gonna have to figure out a place to put it, to where I can get a camera to watch, to look at it and things like that. But in the meantime, what I did on this situation over here with my these little metal strips here, you guys may recall I got those from Home Depot, along with some assorted hardware to put them up. And I'm going to show you what I've got planned. I'll do that on the computer, and I'll just put that video in here. Alright, we are looking now at the shelf at the end of my workbench. You can see the fluke meter and the Heathkit meter, and below it you see the signal generator, the BK signal generator, and the frequency counter to the right of it. So what I'm planning on doing is this shelf here going across below the Heathkit meter is the one we're going to be working with. And what we're going to be doing is this. Like now you can see the these 3 brackets here. There's a bracket there, and a bracket there. I did this once before and these brackets did not show up, so I'm hoping this will this time. Anyway, those are the 3 L brackets that we will screw into the shelf with wood screws, and there's a hole on the flat part here on each bottom of the flat part. And from there, the next thing we'll do is we will add a flat bar. I've showed you the aluminum flat bar stock that we're going to be using here, and that'll be cut to length to fit that shelf. Again, screw here, screw here, screw here, so that will hold it solid to the shelf. And in addition to that, we will drill a hole here, 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 and here, and those holes will be for this little flat bar here that I will add. It can pivot. You can see the arrows here. It'll pivot around like this. So from here I can pivot to here, and if I head over here I can pivot to here like that, and then that will pivot to here, pivot to here. So if I want, depending on where I put it, I can cover pretty much any of this shelf I want to. Because there will be an addition to this that goes on this end of it, and let's take a look at it. Okay, here we can see the wooden piece. This darkish looking thing here is going to be wood. It will just be a you know, piece of wood, certain length. I may cut a couple of different sizes of these, but there will be a attachment at the bottom here with a wing nut to where I can just put those on, and at the top we'll have a either a 1/4 20 screw sticking out to screw the camera onto, or a tripod mount, something like that. And as you can see here, I've got the Kodak ZE-1, and you can look in the window there, you can see the display of the fluke. That's what it's going to be picking up mainly. Now again, I can use the shorter one if I make a shorter one, and pick this meter here up if I want. And in addition, I've got this set up to where I can do this a little bit different. I can take that same flat bar, put it over here, take the same piece of wood, go here, and add another flat bar here to make it go down below and pick up the frequency meter, or if I want to turn it the other way or move it to a different location, pick up the signal generator. And that's the plan there for, like I say, with one flat bar I can do that. And I don't really need one up here at all. If ever comes a time when I put something on the top shelf that, you know, needs to be photographed or whatever, videoed, I can add another one. It's not a big deal. I've got plenty of this flat bar stuff. I thought I was going to add more than this, but you know, for right now, this is where we're going to start, is with this one. But anyway, like I said, this will accommodate more than the Kodak. Obviously, any camera with a screw-in tripod mount can connect this, and same way with this upper one. So, like I said, I just had the ZE-1 because it was easy to put in there. And so you guys, like I say, that's why it's going to go on that. So let me get back to the other video now and keep on watching. So now that you've seen my little video there on the plans for the camera mounts, I think you'll agree that you know, it should work out. I mean, I used the Kodak ZE-1 as my camera on the little graphics and stuff like that, but I could use it on any other camera I've got as far as that's concerned. But I just kind of figured that'd be the easiest one to use to show you what I was trying to do. So like I said, that's what I came up with on that, and that should be done here in next few days, I think. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on with that, but I think also coming around tomorrow is the new 128 gigabyte card that I ordered after talking with Bob, and we'll see if that works any better. I'm hoping it does. I'm not holding out a lot of hope, but you know, it's possible that, you know, that might fix the whole problem. I hope it does. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the seller of the radio did get back to me, and it's what he suggested. He suggested a different card. So, like I said, you know, I didn't figure they would come up with much, you know, in the way of remedy. So they haven't been real helpful as far as, he did send the manual, but the manual wasn't very much. I mean, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't very helpful. Like I said, they're most of their feedback from what I ask them about is usually, you know, well, that's not included, or that, well, it doesn't support that, or it doesn't do this, doesn't do that. That was the other question I asked about the IGO navigation, which I really liked on the other GPS unit, and I thought maybe it would be the same, but it wasn't. It didn't have the voice, and he said no, the voice doesn't work on the IGO, it just works online. And I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but maybe he was talking about Google, I guess. I don't know. But Google does do the voice. And then the other application, or navigation app that I bought, or not bought, but downloaded and downloaded all the maps and everything, that works, but it's kind of a bad situation, because instead of going directly into the navigator, you have to hit a little screen where it's telling you, you know, you got a trial version, this and that and everything else, and you got to do that, and you got to poke a button, and you can't hardly see it. And you know, if I do decide to keep that and use that one, I'm gonna have to buy it, and I don't even know how much it costs, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. But like I said, I know Google works, and it will get me where I'm going if I need, directions. So I don't worry too much about it. The Google is pretty handy on that because, I mean, it's the same as with your phone. Hey Google, is there a good place to eat nearby or whatever? It'll give you suggestions and does that stuff. And so, good. That's about that. I did talk with my grandson. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? He come by to borrow my my little pull golf club cart caddy. What do you want to call it? They had somewhere him and his friend had run into a place that were letting people play for free, but they couldn't use a cart. So they had to have one of those little pull carts with the wheels on it. And I have one, and so I let him use that. And we were talking about the radio, and he liked that a lot. So I really wasn't much else to that visit, I don't think. So that's about that, I guess. The other thing, like I said, about the 128 gig cart is supposed to be here tomorrow. We will find out about that, and hopefully that will work. If it does, it does. I have plans to streamline my music collection down quite a bit from the 102 gig. There's just a lot of even my own music personal collection. There's a lot of the same music on there. I have, with that collection, I did all the CDs, I did all the tapes, I did all the vinyl, I did everything. But there's a lot of the same music there. In other words, I had vinyl albums, I had tapes, and I had CDs of some of that music, because as the music changes, the format changes, you change your things to go along with it. So there's just a lot of music there that is a repeat of something else, and to me, I think the best one to keep would be the CD versions, because that would be the best quality, I would think. I don't know, some people would disagree probably with that, but that's just my opinion on it. So I don't know for sure, but that's about it for that. Trying to think of something else, if there was anything. I think it was mainly just this, and the I really want to get that whiteboard up, because I want to be using that for my videos. I like those illustrations when people do that, and I think that's a handy thing to have. My opinion. I don't know, maybe you guys disagree, I don't know. But like I say, that's just one of the things I want to do. I thought about, you guys can't see it, but on the other side of the shelf over here on this side is the back of it, and I thought, well, that would be a good place to put it, but there's really not much good lighting over there, and I'd have to just basically mount a camera on a tripod and point it at it or something like that. I don't know if that would work out or not. I was thinking about in the living room, I don't know if that's going to be a good area either or not. We'll see, I guess. But also been toying with the idea of using the USPS parcel pickup service to get some of this stuff mailed out that I need to get mailed out. I could just get off my lazy butt, I guess, and go to the post office. But I've heard stories now that the post office is getting a little bit, I won't say strict, but limiting their, patrons in the lobby and things like that. And I don't know. It would be easier just to have them pick it up. I've got a scale. Digital scale, and I can weigh the stuff and put postage on it and just have it picked up, and that'd be the end of it. But I may do that, may not, I don't know. So if some of you guys get your books that I know you probably forgot about them from now, I haven't forgot about those. Everybody will get their books, and I still have the I have been really lagging on the BDST. I should have had that done already, but I haven't. It's just a lot of stuff going on. You guys all know that. And with the radio and with, not being able to go anywhere, just a lot of stuff. It's just, you get into a malaise, I guess is the best way I could put it. And you just don't feel like doing anything, or at least I don't. You guys may be different. I was listening to Bill's little talk the other day about him having to go out to the the grocery store and all different kinds of stores to get things, and I told him in my comment, I don't think I can remember the last time I was in a store, an actual physical store that I walked into and purchased things out of. I just don't do that. Never have. You know, as soon as stuff that, like Home Depot had their pickup service, Walmart has their pickup groceries, and you know, like you can get anything in the store too. And you can't even go into the Walmarts, or at least in this area, and go into the Walmart and use the rest of the store. The only part that's open is the grocery, and so you can't even do that. But if you do the pickup service, they'll go over there and get it for you. They don't have any problem going over there and getting it. And so, like I said, I got that whiteboard, and you know, it's just easier all the way around. My prescriptions, there's a drive-up window at CVS. Drive up, give them my name, my date of birth. They give me drugs. Okay, I pay for them, but you know, you know, I have always done stuff like that if it's available, because for one thing, I'm not a big walker, because my knees would give out on me so quick and stuff like that. So I just have gotten in the habit of, if there's an easy way of doing it, I do it that way, and I just have always done that. Of course, I don't go into restaurants. I don't. Normally, I go through the drive-thrus, always have, unless there's something special going on where, you know, there was a gathering of family or something like that, where we met at a restaurant or something like that, and that, you know, I would do that. But so, you know, I just I don't go in stores anymore. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I was actually in a store to buy something. So, you know, that doesn't really affect me. Now, I understand Bill was talking about they don't have, you know, you can't get pickup and stuff like that where he lives. And I understand that. I mean, if you have to, you have to. But I don't have to. And I don't choose to do it. I just don't. Like I said, the hardest part about, not the hardest part, but the actual going into the store to pick up something, Home Depot, you have to actually go into the service desk, which is right there at the front door, and they'll give you your order and you walk right out. But, you know, that's as far as it goes with me. I other than that, I don't do anything. Even last Christmas, I got quite a few Christmas presents, my grocery order. That's just the way I did, and they didn't have any problem doing it, and I don't have any problem doing it that way either. You know, if I don't have to walk around and pick up the stuff, you know, you can see it online. You can, you know, just see it as good as you can, hold it in your hand, or I can, anyways. I don't know. Of course, you know, all this kind of stuff, my electronics and stuff like that, I generally get on eBay or Amazon or somewhere like that, and I just purely got out of the habit of going to the stores, and so. I don't know, that's just me, I guess, but that's the way I do, I reckon. Anyway, I think I'm trying to think of something else that I wanted to say. There was you know, when I had a plan to do this, I thought, man, I've got all this stuff I want to say, and here I am in front of the camera, and I can't think of what it is. Always seems to be the way. I had my heater under the desk, so you probably can hear it, anybody's listening on headphones or whatever. But I had it unplugged the last few times I was in here, but it got cold again. Yesterday wasn't real bad. I think it was in the 60s. But, you know, unless you're out in the sun, that's not really warm. Or at least it isn't to me. Of course, I was sitting in my son's house, and he doesn't have heat. Really, you know, they might have some in their bedroom or something like that, but he's been working on his house again, and it's just like I said, it's just constantly. He likes it cool. He was out there in the camper when he was showing me the camper, and he was sweating, and it was not cold or it was not hot out there at all. And he's just that type of person that sweats a lot, and so I understand if that's the way you are, but not me. I'm not that way. So it was a good visit, though. I enjoyed the visit. I see the boys. The boys are getting bigger. Yeah, I guess that's the way it always works. I guess his daughter Brianna has her temporary driver's license, and so she's wanting to drive a lot, which is normal for a teenager, I guess. But so that's that. I really haven't mentioned much of Lexi lately. There's probably a good reason for that. She's not here anymore. She got into a bad habit of running up to Indianapolis, and basically, she wasn't listening to anybody as far as telling her to, what's going on and things like that. She didn't pay any attention. She figured she was young. She didn't have to worry about it. Well, I worried about it because she was carrying whatever germs that, right into the house here with me, and I didn't really want that. And so I asked her if she'd leave. I said, just at least until this is over with. I said, just if you got somewhere else to stay. So she's staying in Indianapolis now, I think with her boyfriend or whatever. But so that's where she's at. If you haven't heard me talk about her, and so again, if she wants to come back after this is over, I don't mind her coming back. But I guess she had a pretty bad accident on the expressway and totaled her car. So I don't know exactly what's going on. She's not working anymore anyway. She moved in with him, and she wasn't. That was her reasoning for the accident. She was driving back and forth to Seymour to work at Hardee's. Okay, well, so I said okay. Whatever, and so I don't know what she's going to do about that, or if she's getting another car, or what. But it's just it's kind of a constant thing with her. It's just always has been all her life, or ever since I've known her. Anyway, she's been a handful is the best way to put it, I guess. But I love her and everything, but it's just. Can't have her running in and out of here with carrying back stuff from Indianapolis. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff up there, and I don't really want to be a part of it. So that's about that. Now Kylie, I don't worry about too much. Kylie stays home mostly, and she works at a healthcare facility. She is a CNA. I think she's okay as far as her habits, and even when she does come over, we don't, we're not close to each other. She sits way over on the couch, I'm in the chair, and so I don't worry too much about her. And but like I said, that's what's going on with them, and sorry it had to be that way, but gotta do what you gotta do, gotta survive. So another thing I haven't mentioned much is the fact that my niece has this. My sister's daughter. She's not really doing really good with it. She's, let's see, she was born in 65, so that would make her 55, I think. Well, she'd be 55 this year, I think. So she's really kind of on the threshold, and she's got some health issues as well. So she is in Christ Hospital in Cincinnati right now. They took her from here to Dearborn County, or actually from Vevey to Dearborn County, and then they transferred her to Christ Hospital in Cincinnati. But one day you hear she's doing okay, next day she's not doing so good. So it's kind of touch and go. You don't know what's going on. I'm very thankful she was living with my sister and her sister. So neither one of them tested positive for coronavirus. So that's really good there. Because my sister is, it'd probably be the end of her if she got it. So, that's, I don't know, it's just, don't know what's going to happen, We hear, things from Facebook, her daughter gets on Facebook and tries to explain what's going on, and then I call my sister again and also try to figure out what's going on, so. We're just hoping for the best. All you can do, hope and pray. So that's that. I really don't know anybody else that has this thing. Personally, I know of people that have it, but I don't personally know anybody else. There's a lot of people seem like in Vevey where I used to live that have it, and I guess it went around the school pretty quick down there. So, and my niece is a teacher down there. So that's kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. The stimulus checks. Haven't heard a lot lately about those. I think the last thing I heard was this coming week. In fact, I think I read today that they had already sent the direct deposit payments out to some people already, and they may be showing up in your bank account, which is good. Now, the Social Security people, I think, are kind of down on the list as far as ones that they're taking care of first, obviously. And I heard that would be probably 10 days from when the other ones start, so I'm not worried about it too much. I don't need the money right now, but, you know, I kind of like to get my share of the pie, as if everybody else is getting it, so, but, so anyway, that's that. I guess that's about it. I've just, had a busy weekend, and don't think, like I said, the only thing I'll probably do next day or so is try to get that card working and go from there. Really happy with the overall performance of the Android head unit. Satisfied with it. I listened to music, like I said, going to my son's house and back yesterday. He lives an hour away. So that was worked flawlessly as far as the music and that. So sounds good, you know, happy with that. And I did run into a situation where, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but those that do venture out into the highways, the people are acting a little bit stranger, I think. I got behind somebody coming back and stopped at a traffic light, and the light turned green. They sat there. Sat there quite a while. And in fact, there was a truck approaching me from the rear. He just laid into his horn and went around to the turn lane and went around to everybody, because I guess he thought we were moving. And of course I had my brakes on, so he seen the lights, I'm sure. But and those people still didn't move. After he, like I said, he was laying on his horn like crazy, going around everybody, and they just sat there. So then I hit my horn. Finally, I guess they woke up or whatever they were doing. I don't know what they were doing, and they took off. But I generally don't, you know, I understand people have problems. I don't generally try to honk my horn if you know, it looks like they're just having a little problem. You know, I don't know, but weird. It's just weird. That town I was in is kind of a weird town anyway. You know, I won't mention it, but like I said, there's always something going on there. They have a lot of problems there as far as drugs and things like that, and I don't know if that was what it was, but sure seemed that way. Like I say, that's about it. Want to get this camera mount thing going here and get that going. I just kind of like to get this, you know, in case I do a video and want to have a meter on the secondary camera or whatever, and so I can capture that. That would be fun to have. Nothing. I had a eBay order for them Dremel. I think you guys, I may have mentioned the Dremel tools that I bought on eBay, and it was kind of strange because the day I bought them, they were in, I think, Carroll Stream, Illinois, wherever that is. That's some kind of, I think, a UPS hub or something. But anyway, they were there, and I'm thinking, well, they're next day over, they'll be here the next day. That was on the 3rd of April. And on the 10th, I believe, I messaged the seller and I said, is there a problem with this? I said, they're still sitting there. And they were still at the same location. It was a shipping partner. So I'm sure that was UPS, but I never heard back from the seller. But then I checked last night when I was after I got home, and they are in Memphis now. I don't know why they went to Memphis, but that's where they went. As Kurtworms talk about things that are broke, it goes to Memphis. I guess that's where it went. So, anywho, I hope it's actually in the USPS hands now, so I guess it will get here eventually. But I was kind of surprised that the card I ordered, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I ordered that card, and it's going to be here Monday, so, or supposed to be anyway. So that's from Florida, so I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, I understand people having problems, but, you know, at least tell me, hey, I'm having problems, you know, things going to be late or something like that. And then I got to look at the feedback on that one, and other people had complained about the same thing about purchasing the items and him not shipping them. So that made you kind of wonder about that too. But he had a pretty good rating, I think 99.3 or something like that. I thought, well, that's not bad. So like I say, that's about it. I'm all day long here if you let me, and even though I have nothing absolutely to say, hopefully show you my plans for this whiteboard and maybe get that up and get some drawing on that. I did a you'll see the drawings on the, or you've already actually seen them because I've already showed you on the drawing on the computer that I did. That was basically a picture I took with my phone, and I just made it grayscale, and then I added things to it. But I had done the actual thing on the whiteboard, sitting there in my chair in the living room, just to see how hard it would be to do it. And it was fun to draw and everything, but then there was no way of putting it on the camera. I thought, well, that ain't no good, so I can't do that. But we'll be using that whiteboard. That's what I got it for, was to use. So that's about it. I think I'm going to get off here, put this on the internet, and get it uploaded, because it's been a couple days since I've done anything. And every once in a while you got to take a break. You know how it is. It's just you get into a rut and just don't feel like doing anything anymore. So, but like I said, I got out of the house and did something yesterday, so that was good. I enjoyed that, and maybe this coming week I'll get down to Caruthersville, maybe to my favorite eating spot, get me some food down there. I may do that, I don't know. I still have cheese conies to eat in there, so. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, happy Easter to you all. And I guess we will talk to you later. And thank you so much for watching. And we will see ya.